I'm a big fan of superhero games, especially Insomniac's take on Spider-Man. I have hundreds of hours on each title and lots of praise to go around. With that said, my enjoyment wasn't spread across the experience evenly, so much so that I'm no longer excited for Wolverine, as I believe all the issues I have with the 3 previous titles will not only be present in the game, but may even be worse. If you want to hear why, I'll explain soon enough, but I want this to be clear, this isn't out of blind hate. It's coming from someone who sees the potential of these games and wants improvements. Wolverine will be good, but not good enough for a studio who's been at it for decades and also has a ridiculous amount of money backing it up. Let's start. The gameplay I've seen so far looks incredible, so what's my problem? The combat looks fun and snappy, the traversal will be just as addicting no doubt, with deep yet welcoming mechanics. It's everything around these core gameplay loops that I'm tired of. The stealth, I assume, like in Spider-Man, will be bare bones and painfully okay, just like most half-assed implementations in games. It might even condescendingly tell you when it's safe to attack the 2010 level AI. We're probably going to do investigations which will no doubt be following a trail, doing tedious minigames and brain-dead puzzles. Assume a steady stream of shallow activities and QTEs to be present. Get ready for lots of walking and slice-of-life segments that aren't paced well into the game. No challenge or thought in sight. Character and plot will be absent too. I don't mind the walkie-talkie parts or the Life is Strange sections in plenty of games, but they aren't easy to do. There's a reason that Peter's life at Feast and Otto's lab were extremely short unless you, the player, wanted to know more. Most of the important stuff was in cutscenes, so on replay you don't mind the 1 minute it takes to go there. This isn't about having constant action. It's about spending my time meaningfully. The ratio of what I learned to useless stuff is unbelievable in these games. It's a miracle Spider-Man 1 did it half as good as it did. Either have a cutscene or actually put effort to make it important and engaging. It's like a book making you stop and watch a crappy YouTube short that could have just been a few pages. I think the world has the best potential to be something I love. From what I understand, it won't be open world, but that half click between that and linear. That should give them more time to focus on crafting a more specific experience. Miles Morales has the best open world in my opinion, thanks to the side missions. They were often interesting on their own, but they also contributed to the overall idea of community, which was a big theme. It made the ending that much better. I'm not expecting anything specifically like that here, but it'd be great to care about something or someone in these places. My interactions with the plebs should go beyond just getting upgrades, costumes, or completion for completion's sake.
Hey, move it already.
Someone gonna help a fella out?
Hey, buddy! Hey, Mr. Arthur! Why are you always so mad? You're crazy. All that shooting. And they said I was crazy. I'm not crazy. Not like you. I fought in a war, mister.
Which war was that exactly?
A bad one, Mr. Arthur. Oh, a real bad.
There's good wars?
Maybe let me influence events or have the worlds change over time. I need it to not feel like anything that isn't the main campaign is of less quality. Something consistent in Insomniac's output is their interesting world, so I'm less concerned about that part. I'm not going to get into the story, as I imagine you've heard it all and have your own opinion by now. To be brief, for me, it's always been one step forward, two back. All elements from tone, plot, character, and setting have fundamental issues which were originally carried by great moments and plenty of charm. As the franchise kept moving, it struggled to keep the good at the forefront. I can get over a lot if the characters are good, but the writers keep making their conflicts bland or underdeveloped, having them act out of character, or worse, consistently have them do terrible things which the story never acknowledges. I personally cannot stand those things. It's well known that Sony rushed the team into releasing Spider-Man 2 early, but that doesn't change the fact that they happily took my money and gave me an incomplete product. On release, it was riddled with bugs and glitches, both big and small.
I want to be a real photojournalist, you know? Document the city as it is. Like this photo, captured by Peter Parker.
I think I actually remember when he took that. Mr. Jameson, it's Peter Parker.
These weren't ironed out until weeks later, and even now after they're done updates, I still encounter issues like crimes disappearing. Even if it wasn't fully their fault, how was I supposed to know it when purchasing it? The team didn't mention the state it was releasing in, neither did reviewers, and after, they made little effort to communicate the problems and when patches would be rolled out. Let me clarify, there were 2 months between the launch and that awful hack they had to go through, so there should have been no issue in saying something. Beyond performance, it seems like a chunk of it's just outright missing. Things present in previous games were late or still missing, like day-night cycles, mission replay, New Game Plus, which were eventually added, but things like weather, traversal challenges, and the crime app aren't here. We shouldn't be too harsh though, the Adidas ads made it in safe and sound. Loads of shallow mechanics like basketball and picking up trash thankfully had resources put into it too. Now we can look at the content that we did get, which is underdeveloped. I'll try to be brief. Miles is meant to be just as important as Peter, but his story is what's my college entrance essay, and it occasionally brings the revenge narrative in and out of the story until the third act when he's actually allowed to do something about it. He spends most of his time doing busy work, which isn't a problem stemming from being rushed, it's poor planning. Just like them doing Kraven, the Black Suit, Venom, and also the Invasion all in one game. Those are usually lengthy narratives on their own, and the latter of which, the Invasion, is shorter than the Devil's Breath storyline. Seriously, it has 2 less missions and is wrapped up like nothing happened. Of course, that is a product of being rushed, but that doesn't change what we have. Most side missions aren't meaningful with story or gameplay. As a substitute for real story, we instead got key jangling and sequel bait with Wong, Carnage, Spider-Verse, Harry, and Chameleon. A lot of these don't have anything on their own that's meritful. At best, you could call it foreshadowing, but I can't support buying a $70 game when it's not done. Sure, Wolverine seems like it's been given the proper time, but that never truly confirms if a game is finished. It being planned and executed poorly from the start is never off the table either. There are so few superhero games regularly coming out nowadays, it's hard not to give in when I see a sliver of what I really want. The last teaser trailer didn't get me excited. I found Logan's speech generic and not telling of who he is or why I should care. Why is this Wolverine different or interesting in his own right besides being a version of something I actually like? I'm no hero, I'm Wolverine rang hollow to me. Are we just gonna get the same arc as always? Seeing an older Spider-Man was refreshing when it came out. It was a teaser, but it was still meant to get me hooked beyond the superficial. I want to emphasize, I'm not saying it's going to be bad through and through. The state of play is coming. They'll show a demo, like 10-15 minutes of gameplay, maybe some commentary. It's gonna be cool, and that's my point. It is cool, but it's couched within so much mediocre, repetitive, or straight up bad stuff, and I'm tired of wading through it. It doesn't seem worth it to me anymore. I will be playing it, but like a year later when it's like $50 or $40, then it's worth it to me. That's just strange to me. I am the target demographic for this sort of thing. I desperately want this stuff, but it's just not working for me. Of course, you can be excited if you want. I can't take that away. I don't want to. But if you're listening, I want to ask, what's the ratio for you of good and bad? When does the bad outweigh the good? I love Arkham City, but the side content isn't very good. Or at least a lot of it isn't. But that doesn't take away from the campaign, from the majority of my experience. When I replay that for the 100th time, there's no part where I'm thinking, oh no, this part's coming up, or I'm playing through a part I dislike and I'm just speeding through it so I can get to the fun stuff. It's all the fun stuff, through and through. Compare that to the Spider-Man games where I replay it a lot and I get those feelings. I want to skip things. I want to just get through. I'm dreading certain sections, lots of sections, and I'm tired of it. In my head, they're slowly becoming closer to Ubisoft, where Ubisoft games, they are fun. If you've never played Assassin's Creed or Far Cry or whatever it is, give it a shot. But you're going into that with the expectation of Ubisoft, and you're paying $5 for it, which in return is a lot more fun than you'd expect. But that shouldn't be the case for Insomniac, because they're such a promising studio. We've seen their highs. They're very, very high, but their lows they stand out. Alright, I think that's about it. I hope I didn't come across as too hostile. Thank you for watching.